The 2017 Overwatch World Cup is now within reach.
Heroes of Overwatch, this is Patrick V and welcome to the third match of the Overwatch World Cup 2017. Before we're gonna begin, be sure to smash that subscribe and like button, guys, and leave a comment below what team you think should win. Also, I would like to take the opportunity to let you guys know I'm on Spreadshirt right now, and you can support me by buying one of my shirts or merchandise. The link will be in the description below, and right now you can get a 15% discount by using the code WELCOME-1001-67703. All this information is in the description below. And in the background you saw the rules being explained, and right now the third matchup is France versus Argentina, and this is part 1 of that match. Here we go.
Ready to witness Overwatch history in the making.
All right, guys, Dylan Monte Cristo here for France versus Argentina, and we will see if France's Zoolander deep relaxation style preparation is good against actual training.
I have to go against this narrative a little bit.
Okay,
I mean,
go for
because
it.
they were just victorious in the Beat Invitational.
Sure,
they came off a win over at Takeover 2. And we can talk about how Argentina, out of all the World Cup teams that are not actually like a real professional team, has had months of practice compared to most of the other squads we're seeing here. But if you're France, I don't think you have a lot to gain by scrimming the other teams here. You're already confident. You've been practicing for the last 6-8 months already. So coming in here and scrimming is only giving the other teams more information about your play style.
I can see that point. Okay.
If I was France/Rogue, I'd be saying, hey, why would we try and make these other teams better when we have so much experience already?
I suppose. Well, for Argentina, all I gotta say is, would the real Alan Savati please stand up? I'm confused here a little bit, but either way,
it's a very common name in Argentina.
Apparently, 3 on the same team. What a coincidence. But
hey, there are 2 beignets on the French team, so like, you know.
That's true. That's true. It's like John Smith, the John Smith of Argentina, apparently. Well, here we are in Hollywood, guys. France versus Argentina, of course. And Argentina, you know, you could say pretty easily on paper the underdogs here, but a lot of practice coming into it. These guys are taking it very seriously.
Yes.
We'll see what they can do.
I do think it's impressive, too, how devoted this Argentinian roster has been. Like they said, coming in, already fixing the team even before the committee had a chance to make those selections. So it was just sort of a formality at that point. But a lot of dedication, and especially a lot of these South American regions do have, you know, not the easiest time scrimming versus other continents due to ping. So this is a really big showcase for them and what they can do here.
Well, when we were talking to them yesterday, they were saying that they had been scrimming Brazilian teams a lot, actually. And Brazil, of course, a country with a huge esports scene, a lot of good talent there, too. So, getting what practice they can on the better ping they can find. Argentina on the attack first here on Hollywood.
Yeah, of course, France will be going for a pretty standard composition. France/Rogue.
It's going to be hard to call them France, right?
Yeah, it is going to be very hard to call them France. France/Rogue, they're so used to this meta right now, of course. Really, the kings of the dive in North America when they were competing there.
Very much so. Some of the originators of those original dive strategies that a lot of teams were experimenting with. Soon, of course, legendary Tracer player in the West at this point. All-around great team, and here we go. Trying to get on the point right now.
Argentina's trying a slow push around because they want to hack the health pack in the bottom part of the map and try and retreat back to that as they can. But soon, pretty much winning this Tracer duel against KLAUS, and there was no health pack to take there.
It's a tough start for Argentina. DDX so close to that EMP, but if only KLAUS had stayed alive, they wouldn't need to be backing out right now. Soon getting pretty close to that pulse bomb, actually. Very close. This could be a concern. Argentina trying to back off, but it's a bit of a scattered retreat, and Leviathan taken out. And the disengage. So it's going to be a little bit of time before Argentina comes back.
Yeah, I do like the tactic Argentina had there with the attack Sombra. You do want to flank around that left side as you come in to make sure that you have a large health pack to deal with, and then you can sort of invade the rest of the territory from there. But unfortunately, with KLAUS losing the Tracer duel, really didn't give them the necessary punch. Nico,
well, he's still out of the D.Va suit too, so that's going to be a problem for them as they push in, gets the suit back just in time. KNOXXX, though, with that nano boost, trying to find the kill on DDX. They get the sound barrier off on the Argentina side, and KNOXXX has to pop the Primal Rage. Let's see if Argentina know with KLAUS going down, it's going to be tough for them to make any progress, and yeah, they're already backing away.
Yeah, interesting that we saw them drop the nano boost onto KNOXXX right there, right at the start of that fight, instead of holding off for a nano blade, but it does successfully zone people out of security, and there we go. Nico actually was hacked there, but does overcome it in the end, waits it out, and here comes the Dragon Blade.
Now DDX used that EMP, but they didn't seem to have much follow-up. Nico finds the kill onto BATTLETOAD with that Dragon Blade, soon getting a bit of cleanup on the Tracer as well. And it's going to be another solid defense. Yeah, Nico does go down at the very end, but it's still looking pretty good for France here.
I mean, but because he was the last one to die, the respawns are going to be in the advantage of Argentina, so there is a window of opportunity here. They have to go fast, and Beast doesn't have a D.Va suit right now.
Yeah, they're going to try to press whatever little advantage they can get. Leviathan up on the high ground, so close to that tack visor. Should get it soon, but already zoned out now by AKM. Has to go on the run. Oh, Leviathan taken down by KNOXXX. Got that nano boost just in time to get the killing blows, and Argentina on the run again. They're going to come back into it with a pretty good ult advantage, though, so maybe this next push is going to be it, and it kind of has to be it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and that was a great combination between AKM and KNOXXX to deny any possible use of the tack visor. France using the nano boost pretty aggressively on KNOXXX, but the cleanup kills have been coming through, and it has been worth it. So DDX needs this EMP. They've got 1, 2, maybe 2 pushes left in him.
He needs to get it a bit faster now. He's not getting that charge. Got to hack that health pack. Here comes Leviathan with the attack visor. Has to avoid that self-destruct that takes down BATTLETOAD. Got 2 with his ultimate, but now he's got Soon to deal with. Not anymore. Soon taken out, but KNOXXX with a bit of revenge. It's a brawl. But so far, Argentina, a little bit of purchase on the point. UNKOE does fall, so it looks like they might be able to claim it right here.
Well, that time, AKM was not in position to actually deny the attack visor, so the first 2 picks coming through for Argentina ended up working out, and they're going to have a hard time contesting this with that EMP coming out.
All right, EMP just to secure the point, I suppose. France not giving up easily, but this may cost them on point B if they end up losing it. They are so close to giving this one up. DDX doing what he can. Nico coming back. If Nico has a big Dragon Blade, this could be good. Oh, Nico taken down by NEKTA, though. That will be the point. It was close.
That was a little close there with Nico getting both TPS at the end of that fight, but not enough HP just to stay on the cart there. DDX continuing to play this Sombra through the streets phase here on Hollywood, so I don't know about this. We'll have to see if it works out for them, but they don't have a lot of high ground control, Argentina.
True enough. Getting Sombra up there doesn't help you a whole lot. AKM, ooh, they finally burned down NEKTA. And France regrouping a little bit. They bought themselves some breathing room, at least at the beginning of the streets phase.
Payload's still moving, though. Waiting just a little bit. Finally pushing them off the cart. So Argentina falling back and slowly getting back up to that EMP again. If you can get that Sombra up onto the high ground, then chance to do a drop-down EMP.
Sure enough. KLAUS with the Pulse Bomb. Here's the Tracer duel again. Not a duel Soon loses too often. Meanwhile, KNOXXX with that nano boost has to contest against the sound barrier from Argentina. They've still got some ultimates to use, so maybe they can put together a win here. It's a good fight so far. KNOXXX goes down. Yeah, looks like they should be able to get the payload moving a little bit. Leviathan using that tack visor for the cleanup. France forced to fall back. And finally, Argentina going to make some progress with this payload.
The thing France is doing, though, that's very interesting is what we're seeing them use the nano boost for is just for KNOXXX. And what that's doing is it's actually forcing the support ultimates out of Argentina. Therefore, when Nico has the Dragon Blade up, it's not like they're all inning on a nano blade. So he's able to clean that up as long as there isn't a sound barrier on the other side.
Oh, high EMP coming in from Argentina. Where's the follow-up, though? Leviathan goes down. That's not the follow-up they were looking for. France got that sound barrier off after the EMP, and Nico, even though he's hacked right now, he's got that Dragon Blade, but he may not need to use it. Nope, pulls it out. What's he going to get with it? Waiting for it. Hacked! Hacked again, and that was well handled, actually, by Argentina. Nico handled.
Yeah, I thought he had an opportunity, but only the tanks in the front line, and getting hacked at the end of that, making sure he wasn't going to have that mobility. Still, France able to use the closer spawn, though, start coming back, start loading onto the cart, and KNOXXX buying enough time with the Primal Rage.
Yeah. Argentina, though, certainly making it competitive here in Streets phase, but they have run out of time. They need to make this push be huge. And are they even going to get to the payload? It's going to be a race, man. I don't even know if they can get there.
Well,
4,
they're setting up big
3.
zones right now, and the nano boost is going to come down onto KNOXXX again.
KLAUS died.
Nope.
That's it. They caught KLAUS as he was coming in. They couldn't get to it. So, could have been a little bit longer of a push, but in the end, France does hold strong. I almost called him rogue there. It's tough. I admit it. That's what the pause is about, in case you're wondering. In the end, though, France, also known as rogue sometimes, does hold Argentina to just 1 point. So they put themselves in a great position. They only have to push the payload maybe 2/3 of the way through Street. So if you're a France fan or a Rogue fan, maybe, you're feeling pretty confident coming into this attack round.
Sure you are. And you also have to consider, though, that one thing France, I think, needs to do a little bit better is Leviathan is actually getting some pretty good tack visors overall. And AKM, of course, very well known for his soldier play, not so well known for his diva play, but they need to tighten up their positioning a little bit to make sure that he's not going to get these big kills, because almost all of Argentina's success was based off of the soldier ultimates mowing down the team and then getting some movement on the payload.
Well, France looks a little bit rusty right now, basically. And they look rusty in the kind of way that you'd sort of expect to be fixed as the match goes on. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that. Certainly a couple little points here and there, like you mentioned, to work on, but see what they can do.
Okay, looks like DDX is going to be sticking with the Sombra, at least for the moment, on this defensive round from Argentina. And France switching Nico, who does flex between Genji and Diva, over to that Diva, and AKM, of course, on the soldier. So I think a little bit better known for AKM with his soldier, and of course previously McCree play, even though we're unlikely to see it on this patch.
That would be nice. Oh well.
But pretty standard stuff for Hollywood. If you're going to try and defend the top of Cafe, or attack from the top of Cafe to maybe make a long flank around.
Yep.
So
here we go. Argentina on the fence. France, of course, on the offense. And they're coming in. I like the defense matrix right at the beginning, just in case you have like a biotic grenade coming through or something. You always want to be careful with that.
Yeah, just a little bit of caution, as you say. So
you never know.
Looks like AKM, they're just going to take a very forward and aggressive approach to the point right now, not trying to take any high ground at all.
All right. Yeah, just kind of milling around as KNOXXX edges forward onto the point. Soon is there. KLAUS getting forced back just a little bit. Argentina pushed back into a corner, but now they're on the attack. KNOXXX very low. If they can pick him, that's the end of the push for France. But they managed to keep him up. KNOXXX's health regenning as we speak, getting those heals. Soon on the escape. Comes back in for a bit of damage. Dangerous positioning for him. UNKOE actually going down, as does Soon. So Argentina finally starting to put that defense together. And it looks like they will be able to hold for now.
Yeah, really early EMP picked up too for Argentina, so that very successful in the end. France saw an opening when they saw that KLAUS had already used his rewind on Tracer, and so they tried to make an aggressive push over the point, but unfortunately DDX already doing a lot of work charging that ultimate up, and he's going to be back at about 50% once again. So France repulsed after their initial attempt. Are they going to try something a little bit trickier this time?
Well, they're going to throw that pulse bomb into the sound barrier. No kills coming out of that one. KLAUS still looking for a bit more damage on the KNOXXX and Soon. Meanwhile, Leviathan smacked down. No tactical visor for you. What are you seeing in that tac visor? It's a giant gorilla paw. That's rough. Meanwhile, on the point, here comes the EMP for Argentina. Can they use it to retake this, though? DDX, nice hack on the Nico there. No defense matrix for a little bit, but he's kind of on his own. Not a lot of teammates left to help defend against France here.
Yeah, AKM never had an opportunity really to use that tac visor, but because they shut down the tac visor from Argentina, it wasn't the biggest deal. But they tried to be aggressive because they knew the Sombra EMP wasn't up, so both sound barriers coming out very early in that fight, but KNOXXX managing to find the clutch kill over onto Leviathan, and that will earn them at least point A.
Sure enough. France will get the payload moving, and Argentina has to back away. I have much respect for anyone who names themselves Battletoad, as long as he's actually beaten that game, because that is hard.
Yeah, I've never beaten that game.
Me neither. He actually has. Oh, okay. Well, KLAUS.
That's actually
that was a very optimistic move.
That was a very optimistic pulse bomb, and the fact that he manages to die during it too, because there isn't so much wiggle room for this Argentina team, that was a bit of a throwaway. KLAUS has not been too on point, I think, with his tracer play this match so far.
Now, to me, the star's been DDX on this Sombra. I think he's played it really well. Leviathan, like you mentioned, had pretty good ults. Speaking of ults, AKM pulls out the tac visor. Trying to zone out Argentina. There's that EMP, though, from DDX. He dies as soon as he uses it, though. And now the follow-up from Argentina coming in. It's a brawl, but AKM does go down eventually. That payload stalled out for the moment. France is probably going to need to regroup. Yeah, definitely going to need to regroup after this.
Yeah, and the ults forced out of France at the end there. The tac visor from AKM didn't accomplish much, but it did at least zone out NEKTA during the primal rage, so they didn't have to do that. But no real ground gained for the actual payload itself. And now they're staring at a situation where at least there isn't going to be a EMP to negate their sound barrier. But
oh man, KLAUS went for another pulse bomb but didn't get anything out of it. Tranquility comes out now on the side of France. UNKOE trying to keep people alive. There's the sound barrier to fall up for that second defensive ult. Leviathan has the high ground, but he just doesn't have a great angle on Argentina. Meanwhile, the rest of his team kind of falling all around him, and he's going to have to back away. That may just be point B for France. Yeah. I think Argentina's going to get one more chance at the very end, but I mean, it's going to be close.
Even if they try and contest the cart right now, Dylan, there's a self-destruct and a primal rage to deal with. DDX being cute on the side, invisibly contesting the cart, but that's going to be a quick punch onto Soon, so maybe they can actually come back out of this. AKM does make it up on top of the bridge.
Oh, that was really sick from DDX. Get that angle onto the Soldier 76, but that payload is basically on the end there. And AKM coming in with the tac visor, more or less unopposed. And that may be it right there. If they can deal with this rampaging Winston, they can finish the map. AKM trying to do his job. Battletoad does go down. And that is it. France will take Hollywood.
It's just so hard to actually hold in that particular position, because if there's a D.Va that's pushing the cart and the Winston, they've got so much time. Right. And when it's only a couple of meters, you need just a few seconds to zone people off, and it's almost impossible to deal with that if you're Argentina. They made a good show of it, but couldn't quite get there in the end. It was admittedly relatively competitive. Only about a minute and a half left on the clock for France, and
all right,
we're going to see a Sombra play of the match.
You know, like I mentioned in that last round, the highlight was really for me DDX. I think he had some pretty great Sombra play. Had the good EMPs. He built them extremely quickly, even for a Sombra, and seemed to always have the right hacks.
Yeah, certainly did. And I do wonder a little bit about France, because every attack they made was just so transparent and straightforward. We didn't see really any sort of tactical maneuvers from them at any point in time, just sort of going through the motions of, that's what all their synergy from so many months of experience gets you, though.
Well, it's worked so far on map number 1 anyway. Argentina with the map choice coming into our control best of 3 in just a moment. And I feel like if Argentina can just tighten things up a little bit, we saw little things here and there. One member of the team goes in too early, some overly optimistic moves. If they can just sort of rein that in a little bit, I think they're going to have a little bit more of a chance to really make a go of it against France.
Well, I think what we saw too is that they were better when they were spread out and trying more spread attacks, because when they were trying to cluster up, France would frequently divide them and kill them very quickly. France was much better about dealing with them in choke points, but when you got the long flank on the Soldier, if France was more frequently overcommitted to protecting a specific position, I think that opened up a lot more opportunities.
Yeah, I think this one could actually end up being pretty close. If France still kind of struggles with a little sort of, sloppiness issues here and there, and Argentina tightens things up like we're talking about, this could actually go the distance.
Yeah. I mean, at least it was a pretty competitive first map. And now that we're moving into a control map next, that's where a lot of the skirmishing becomes more important. So we'll see how the flanks are going to go here, and if they are going to switch AKM potentially back over to the to the D.Va and then bring back Nico on the Genji.
True enough. See what they can do. Looks like we are going to be going on to Nepal next for our control map. pretty popular map these days.
Yeah, it is worth noting, too, that because France was the higher seed, they were able to select the first map. So now we are moving into Argentina's map selection as the losing team. So clearly they are going to be feeling more comfortable on this. Remember, it is a best of 3, not a best of 5 on Control here at the Overwatch World Cup.
Welcome to Nepal. We got lots of elephant statues. Oh, yeah.
At this point, too, I think at least if we see the same kind of play from Argentina, because it is a more open point with the ability to fan out around it, could be a little bit more in Argentina's favor.
And mountains. We have lots of mountains, too. Did I forget to mention the mountains?
Yes, beautiful Himalayas.
Yeah. That's right. And bells in hard-to-reach places.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how they ring that bell.
I don't know. It's a good question.
No
I mean,
rope.
you have to be an Overwatch hero, I guess, to ring that one. That's what it's there for. Yeah.
You have to shoot it with...
You ring it to let people know that there's about to be a massive brawl in your sanctuary there, and everyone's like, okay, I guess I'll just stay inside buildings like that instead of go outside today. Thanks for warning me. I guess when the giant ship starts hovering next door to the monastery, you sort of might get that impression too.
That's probably why it's abandoned right now.
Yeah,
all those monks just straight out of there.
We haven't been in all the buildings here. We don't know that it's abandoned. It's likely though. We'll see. Everybody jumps onto the point. Let the battle begin.
Okay.
Here we go. Rogue in the blue.
Yeah, Argentina really committing to DDX on the Sombra.
Yeah. Oh, we heard about this. I mean, we know what a good Sombra player is. We know that he really likes to prioritize that. And I guess they're just going to run it every round, every map. Interesting. Looking for the hack, couldn't quite find it. France does find purchase on the point as it unlocks. A control meter building up, and it looks like, yeah, oh, maybe not quite. Argentina with a last-minute try to take it first. France backing off. And yeah, just a nice little organized retreat for France, and they are going to get the control percent building early. Nice shot on the KLAUS from AKM.
Well, because of the way Argentina, so they had to go through the building, so at least they would have some health packs to hack.
Sure.
But unfortunately, when AKM is back on this soldier, if they try and just come at the point from around that side, he's got way too much room to work with.
It's just so easy to...
WINZ just taking out the Sombra.
It's so easy to chase that Sombra down, too, sometimes, when you know that translocator isn't up, and it's going to be tough for DDX on some of these rounds. I mean, when we get to a point like Sanctum, or if this was Lijiang Tower and we were in Control Center, yeah, Sombra, we see it a lot. But things like Shrine, it's an unorthodox pick for this round.
Yeah, certainly is. But he's going to get the EMP anyway.
All right, yeah, soon goes down immediately afterwards. KLAUS looking for another victim in AKM. He finds it, too. Now that Pulse Bomb to use. Not going to need to use it against the Zenyatta, probably. Yeah, UNKOE taken down with a little bit of help from DDX as well. And Argentina in prime position to flip this one over.
And now they're going to be able to hack health backs on both sides of the point. So this is where it can become very useful to have a Sombra if you're already in control.
Yeah.
Much harder, especially because you have to run across a large amount of open ground. So the EMP becomes much deadlier if you're trying to get through the single choke point, unless you're coming through the actual buildings themselves. But you can see Argentina posting up on the high ground, anticipating that already. But
I mean, unorthodox or not with this DDX Sombra, they certainly know how to use it. They're well practiced with this kind of thing. KNOXXX coming in. Oh, Pulse Bomb. Now, it did get the kill into Soon. Wow, I didn't know if he'd grab anything with that. They've got the sound barrier, too. France coming in short-handed. We'll see what they can pick up. Leviathan with that tac visor. A lot of that getting absorbed, but it does occupy the attention of Nico for quite a while, too. Meanwhile, Argentina picking up some more kills, and Leviathan not even dropping down to half health there. Argentina, they're going to catch up in control percent here.
Yeah, he does have a very good sense of where the D.Va is and what the cooldown is on that defense matrix, because he's getting a ton of kills, actually, more than we saw in any other match so far today with that tactical visor. So his success really working out, and even though we saw Nico get there, it was already after AKM had fallen, so the damage had really already been done. Here's the EMP, and that's the danger of the Sombra.
Oh boy, that's a big EMP. KLAUS throws out the Pulse Bomb. Not a big Pulse Bomb here, but a lot of members of France still dealing with that hack. AKM does get the kill, the NEKTA, and UNKOE. Wow, there's a bloodthirsty support move for you. KLAUS not surviving that one, and now France with a golden opportunity to flip this point back.
The EMP managed to find a lot of targets, but France immediately disengaged, so couldn't get the damage down and really punish the lack of movement because they walked immediately back through the choke. They were definitely ready for that cooldown, and they are going to be looking to close this map out with Argentina only at that 81% mark.
Yeah. Do you feel like France is starting to sort of get a read on Argentina? You know, because we're seeing the same thing now that we saw in Hollywood, and it becomes a bit transparent over time, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it is harder again to... Oh, well, they are going to find that one, though.
All right.
So KLAUS actually doing a lot more work in this map than in the last one, winning those duels with Soon, and they are slowly draining this French squad. They have trapped between a Tracer and a Winston.
Not a place I'd want to be. Certainly DDX with the option to EMP, but he's not going to need it.
This is so dangerous for France, too, because if this point flips over, they will basically have one attack to work with, and that means they have to run directly to the point itself, and they can be caught out once again with the EMP, but this time they're not going to have the luxury of being able to fall back if they want to contest.
Well, WINZ needs to not get EMP'd. He needs to not get EMP'd and then have that sound barrier to use. All right, there's the EMP. No sound barrier just yet. Leviathan, though, he's got the tac visor, and Argentina going in. They are crushing France right now.
Well,
that's that.
Yeah, they are crushing France, but Soon is actually making a comeback here. Those are some very big kills on the backside of the fight as Nico is able to get his suit back from the self-destruct.
No kidding. Argentina starting to drop a little bit now. KLAUS still alive for the moment. He's got to get that pulse bomb up, and he's got to make it count. There's the sound barrier. Got the pulse bomb. Oh, he does manage to stick KNOXXX, but it's just not enough damage with that shield from the Lucio ult. And France flips it back. We're going to go up to 99-99, and there's not a lot Argentina has to use to flip it back.
No, they have to use the Winston double jump with the Primal Rage just to contest the point right now, and that's just not going to be enough, I think, Noah.
Well, we'll see. 1 for 1 so far. KNOXXX does have that Primal Rage to try to keep France alive here, try to claim Shrine. Leviathan goes down already, and yeah, with UNKOE ripping people apart on Zenyatta like that, I think Argentina may be in a bit of trouble here on Shrine. Another tac visor used, but France not really even needing to get a whole lot with this one. OT should tick away fairly soon. There it is, and France does take the lead here on Nepal.
Man, that was really should have been an Argentina win on that point.
For sure.
When you have the control of the point and you have the EMP on Sombra, on Shrine, and you can actually just force them into the open because they have to contest it or you win the match. That they got the perfect EMP, but Nico and Soon 100% clutched that out, and having that great self-destruct kill and Soon picking up one for himself really kept France in that. So credit to Nico and Soon, but Argentina, man, they had such a good opening. They had every advantage and couldn't close it out.
That was one of those moments that's purely carried by the synergy between people that have played together for a long time, right? When you know that Diva ult is going to zone people in a way to set up easier kills for Soon, like you only get that if you've played with someone for a while.
Well, also, Nico just has a history of having clutch Diva ults at the last second. And you know, France is a team that stays calm under pressure, and that's where those kind of traits pay off. Village is going to be coming up here. We are going to be seeing the Pharmacy.
Yeah, we got Leviathan on the Pharah. Drops a little bit low there. Has to be careful. AKM looking for a kill. Oh, but AKM getting killed by NEKTA. Kills on both sides, but Argentina taking the early lead in this battle over Village. Interesting. KLAUS finds the kill on the WINZ, and so it looks like Argentina maybe going to be able to claim this one early as they chase France away, but a lot of members of France respawning now. This one could still be up for contestation.
Well, Argentina is definitely making this map of Nepal extremely close so far, and they are going to get the first cap here. So even though they came out with the Pharah and immediately died, DDX actually picking up a lot of ult charge, already having the res. So Argentina looking for a pretty lengthy hold. They are going to retake up on the high ground, sticking with the Pharah for the time being and just starting to spam those doorways with the rockets.
They've got some of those delay abilities too, right? Well, Pulse Bomb comes in, but Beast is getting very close to his self-destruct on Diva. Another way to just sort of get a little bit more percentage, you know? France cautiously moving in. There's a self-destruct from BEASTXZUKEN. Oh, wow. Leviathan taken out. AKM with the Flying Soldier 76. Gonna back off now. France looking to try to flip this thing. Argentina needs to be careful. There's a tempo res on the Leviathan. NEKTA goes down immediately afterwards, so that is a tough res to swallow for Argentina. I think even with that sound barrier, I think it's going to get flipped.
I think you have to use that res sooner, Doa. He was holding that into his pocket. Farah died very early. We did not get a chance to see DDX's positioning, but probably a bit of a late call there because NEKTA was already in trouble and dying pretty much immediately thereafter. So it looked like a bit of a mistake in the communication from Argentina. If they had tempo resed the Farah just a little bit faster, I think they may have had a success holding that. As it stands, though, respectable 53% on the point.
Yeah, man, more than, well, about halfway there, rather. My math is not very good, apparently. 53 is halfway to 100. Well, in Doa math, yeah, it totally is. It totally is.
It's basically, you know.
It's just close enough. Close enough. I was an art major, you know. KLAUS does go down. France with a good start here. AKM pops that tack visor. But a couple kills coming in for Argentina. They are making a go at it. And without UNKOE, France may have a little bit of a trouble holding this. He had that transcendence, and they could really use it right now.
GDX with another res already, though, so extended fight, giving Mercy a lot of time to get the heals, and they still have to deal with AKM, and they can't do it.
Yep. Oh, pulse bomb, not even close. KLAUS not hitting that one. Lucio with a lengthy ultimate startup there. Argentina with the double res, though, stays in it.
That res was much better this time, Doa. That's the one you want to hit. Make sure you get it a little bit faster. Battle over the point still ongoing there. KLAUS getting a lot of free damage on the side. Now it's going to be trying to zone this Tracer out soon. Has to fall back, but he already did the damage. Picked up the kill onto NEKTA.
Okay. So France gaining some percent now. And Argentina starting to get a bit frantic. They're going to have some ultimates for this next push. But they're ultimates that are kind of tough to pair together. Not a lot of synergy there.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
Maybe you could try something like getting the D.Va ulted back and zoning them into a barrage. But AKM has been all over Leviathan.
And this is every Farah's worst nightmare, right? Like a good 76 is going to pick you out of the air, no matter if you've got that Mercy behind you or not. He's got the tack visor again, too. So with that D.Va suit nearly out of commission, there's not a lot stopping him. There goes Beast, or Battletoad, rather. And that's OT, and that's the map. France will take Nepal 2-0.
Yeah, AKM doing the work there, and as you say, it is just so difficult to deal with that situation when you have the Orb of Discord on you with the Farah, and of course AKM just known for his incredible aim and his accuracy with the Helix rocket.
So Lucio play of the game. All right, let's see. All right, the EMP, that's a nice one. Okay, boop, keeps him away. All right, another boop. All right, well, okay. Well, to kill him there.
To pick up some kills at the end there.
Yeah. Play the game.
So at least something. Got like a nice 4-man boop away from the point.
Yeah.
I really do think Argentina had such a huge advantage on Shrine, though. It's a bit disappointing that they were able, they let France sort of slip in the door at the very end. But still a pretty competitive map. And we're going to have Argentina.
Than Hollywood.
Yep, much closer than Hollywood. And Argentina is going to be able to pick the next map as well. So if this is a trend, hopefully we will see some more competitive matches. Even though it was a 2-0, it was a pretty close 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a situation where we could see this one ending up being 2-2. We're going to get a little bit of a break now for Argentina to sort of regroup, address what maybe they could be doing a little bit better. And honestly, it's not a whole lot. They don't really need to fix a huge amount of stuff right now to take some maps off France.
And if you're Argentina, you definitely pick Horizon for the next map because France hasn't been practicing, and they haven't been practicing that map because it wasn't in the pools of previous tournaments. So absolutely you go for Horizon, I think.
That's right. So we will take a quick break, and when we come back, the next two maps in France versus Argentina, guys, should be pretty sick. So we'll see you pretty soon.